So one of the things that is often spoken about in the self-development world is how to be present, how to live in the now, how to live in this moment. So not being distracted by what might happen, what may happen in the future, and not getting caught up in what did happen in the past. And perhaps one of the reasons why this has become such a popular topic is because of the book called The Power of... what was it called? That book was very popular, and I think it still is very popular now. So let's take a look at some of the ways that someone can be more present. So one of the big things, and one of the most common approaches that is mentioned, is meditation or mindfulness. So through becoming aware, through someone becoming aware of their breathing and just observing what is going on within them. So observing their thoughts, their sensations, and breathing deeply and not allowing themselves to get caught up in what is going on. It can allow them to, at least for a moment, to be more present, or to be present, depending on how well it goes. And through working on this throughout the week, then it can then allow them to be more present in their day-to-day life. Another thing that someone can do is when they notice that they are being pulled to the past or the future, is they can just breathe deep breaths into their stomach and to bring themselves back into the moment so they can focus on a physical sensation. And once again, they're just getting out of their mind and into their body. Because of course the mind doesn't like the present moment because it has nothing to do. So we're trying to troubleshoot what's going to happen in the future, or worrying about getting caught up in what happened in the past. So when we are in our body, then we are present. Another thing that someone can do is to change the route they usually go to work. And through changing the route, through taking a different road or walking a different way, cycling a different way, it can allow them to once again be more present. And this is because it will be new to them, so they kind of switch off and start thinking about what happened in the past or what's going to happen in the future. They'll be more engaged in their environment. And so these can all be seen as mental approaches, observing the mind and not getting caught up in one's thoughts and what is going on there. But another thing that someone can do, which is not mentioned as much, is to look at what is going on in their body. Because if the mind is obsessing over something, this can show that this is basically a defense mechanism that it is utilizing to avoid the pain in the body. So once this pain in the body has been resolved, then the mind can settle down and then someone can be more present. And even just certain thoughts that someone can have over and over again, they can come from what is going on in the body. So the body can be seen as the root, and the mind can be seen as the weed, the part that can be seen. So playing around with the top, cutting the top off, is not really going to solve anything. It might work in the short term, but in order for that weed to no longer appear, the root needs to be dealt with. So, I mean, if a gardener was just to start cutting things off, a good job wouldn't be done. So, with this in mind, looking at the emotional body, what is going on there? What kind of pain is being carried in the body? Because although our thoughts can cause us to experience certain feelings, our feelings can also cause us to experience certain thoughts. So it works both ways. But so much of the self-development world is focused on the mind. And this is not always going to be the answer. So when it comes down to the body, this is basically the area. It's often called the unconscious mind because this is the area that holds trauma, old feelings. So the inner child can be found down there as well, just above the stomach. And this pain builds up, and then the mind basically reflects what is going on in this part of our being. So working through trauma, grieving unmet childhood needs, and working through the pain that the inner child is in can be another great way to truly be present, to actually live in the moment. Because another thing is, in order for us to be in our body, we can't have too much pain there, because if there is a lot of pain in our body, once again we'll be pushed into our mind, into this very unstable place. But through dealing with the pain, we can get back into our body, and then we can be. But this, of course, doesn't involve just observing our thoughts and trying to rearrange the furniture on the Titanic, as they say. It involves getting into our body and working through that pain. And one of the reasons why this pain is avoided is because it can be overwhelming. Whereas playing with our thoughts and trying to manage those can be hard, but it's not going to be as hard as dealing with emotional pain. So what I would say is, if someone does find it hard to live in the moment, perhaps they need to look at what is going on in their emotional body and to start working through any pain that is there. And if this is too overwhelming, they might need to reach out for external support, and through having this external support, this external presence, they will gradually build up their own presence so they can work through their pain themselves. And this is something that I go into this process of working through the pain that the inner child is in my How to Heal Your Inner Child book. And when it comes to external support, a therapist or a healer can provide this support. So I hope that's given you some insight into what you can do to become more present if this is something that you struggle with.